Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Amma ba'd. Fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we will listen about a very wonderful Quranic incident. And this incident is of a heavenly stuff. It was the stuff of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, which is commonly known as Asai Musa. Several miracles exhibited by Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam were by virtue of this holy stuff. These miracles have been mentioned by the Holy Quran under different topics repeatedly. The history of this holy stuff is very ancient and it comprises of hundreds of historical events that impart thousands of moral lessons. Those who possess the spiritual insight can avail the light of guidance from these events. The staff was as tall as Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, mean 10 arms length, approximately 15 feet. Its head was split into two branches that would emit the light at night like a lamp. It was made from the heavenly tree of Salvadora persica. In Urdu, this tree is called Pilu, and Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam had brought it with him from paradise. The excellence of the blessed stuff has been mentioned by Sayyid Ali Ujhuri Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi in his couplets. The translation of these couplets are five things descended from the paradise with Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam. Oud, the fragrant wood, the blessed stuff of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, which was made up of the great wood of Salvadora persica, the leaves of the fig tree, Hajrul Aswad present in Makkah Mu'addama, and the holy ring of the blessed Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. After Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam, the holy stuff was passed on as a prophetic heritage to several distinguished Anbiya alayhimus salatu was salam, one after the other. Then finally it reached Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam, who was a Nabi sent to the people of Madian. When Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam migrated from Egypt to Madian, Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam got his daughter Sayyidatuna Safura radiyallahu ta'ala anha married with Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam served Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam for 10 years. He alayhi salam would hurt the gods of Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam during that period. At that time, upon receiving the command of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam gave the holy stuff to Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. When Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam left Madian for his homeland, Egypt, with his blessed wife and reached in the sacred valley of Tuwa, Allah Azza wa Jalla blessed him with the gleams of his divine light and raised his rank by bestowing him with the prophethood. The Holy Quran describes how Allah Azza wa Jalla addressed Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam at that time in the following words. The translation of these verses are, "And what is this which you have in your right hand, O Musa?" He submitted, "This is my staff. I lean on it and I knock down leaves for my gods with it, and there are other tasks of mine in it." In the context of Ma'aribu Ukhra mean other tasks that were accomplished through their staff. Sayyiduna Allama Abul Barakat Abdullah bin Ahmad Nasafi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh has mentioned following things in tafsir of this part of the Quranic ayah. Number 1, holding it and walking, taking its spot. Number 2, talking to it at the pastime. Number 3, the staff becoming a tree and providing shade during the daytime. Number 4, in the night time, the two forked branches of the staff would glow and provide light. Number 5, using it as a protection against enemies, wild beasts, snakes, and scorpions. Number 6. At the time of drawing out water from the well, the staff would turn into a rope and its two forked branches would turn into a bucket. Number 7. As and when required, the staff would turn into a tree and would bear desired fruits. Number 8. Water would emerge upon inserting the staff into the ground and etc. Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam used to perform the above mentioned things with the holy stuff. When Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam went to the court of Pharaoh to guide him towards the right path, Pharaoh denied Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam and blamed him to be a magician. Thereafter, wonderful miracles were exhibited through the blessed stuff. The Holy Quran has mentioned three of those miracles repeatedly. One of these miracles that was exhibited through the blessed stuff is that once Pharaoh arranged a huge carnival and gathered all of the magicians of his kingdom in order to defeat Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. In the midst of this carnival, which was crowded with hundreds and thousands of people, at one side stood a large number of magicians holding their magic devices in their hands, and on the other side there stood Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam all alone, yet determined against all of them. The magicians swore by the grace of Pharaoh and threw their sticks and ropes onto the ground. Suddenly, those sticks and ropes became hissing snakes, slithering all over the field. The whole crowd lost senses out of fear, and a stampede broke out. Pharaoh and all of his magicians swelled with arrogance upon demonstrating their show and began to clap arrogantly, considering it their victory. Meanwhile, upon receiving the command of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam placed his holy staff among the snakes. The blessed staff turned into a big and horrifying serpent that swallowed all of the snakes of the magicians. Upon witnessing this miracle, all of the magicians admitted their defeat and fell prostrate while proclaiming. The translation of this verse is, "We brought faith in him who is the Lord of Harun and Musa." Therefore, while mentioning this incident, the Holy Quran says, the translation of these verses are, "They said, O Musa, either you throw first or shall we throw first?" Musa said, "Rather you throw." Thereupon their ropes and their staffs, by the strength of their magic, appeared to him as if they were running. And Musa sensed fear in his heart. We said, "Fear not, only you are dominant, and cast down which is in your right hand. It will swallow their fabrications, that which they have made and brought. That is only a trick of the magicians, and a magician is never successful wherever he comes to." Therefore all the magicians were thrown down into prostration. They said, "We brought faith in him who is the Lord of Harun and Musa." Another miracle that was exhibited through the blessed stuff is that Syria was the native country of Israelites, the Bani Israel, but these people settled in Egypt during the reign of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. And the people of Amalekah, the worst of the unbelievers, dominated Syria. When Pharaoh drowned in the river Nile and Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was secured from the tyrannies of Pharaoh, Allah Azza wa Jalla commanded Musa alayhi salam to do jihad against the people of Amalekah and free Syria from their domination. Therefore, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam mobilized an army of 600,000 Israelites and moved for jihad. However, when the Israelites reached within the border of Syria, they became so terrified of the people of Amalekah that they gave up and fled from jihad. As a consequence of disobeying the command of Allah Azza wa Jalla, the Israelites were punished in such a way that They went wandering in the plains of Ti for 40 years and could not get out of it. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam also stayed with them in that field. When those people became restless due to thirst and hunger in the plains where no signs of food and water existed, Allah Azza wa Jalla descended mano salwa for them from the skies by virtue of the supplication made by Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. Man was a type of sweet confectionery similar to honey, and salwa was roasted quails. After eating, when they became restless due to extreme thirst and demanded for water, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam struck a stone with his staff. Immediately, 12 springs emerged from the stone. The 12 tribes of the Bani Israel began drinking water from their individual springs and also served this water to their cattle. It continued for 40 years. It was a miracle of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam that occurred with the help of the holy staff and stone. The Holy Quran describes these miracles as under. The translation of these verses are, and when Musa asked for water for his people, so we said, strike this rock with your staff. Immediately 12 springs gushed out therefrom. Each group recognized their drinking place. Another miracle that was exhibited through the blessed staff is Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam preached Pharaoh for a long time and showed him heavenly signs and miracles. However, he did not embrace the truth and grew even further in his mischief and stubbornness. The Israelites did not accept Pharaoh as their lord, therefore, he tortured them severely. During this persecution, a divine revelation was revealed upon Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, directing him to migrate from Egypt along with the Bani Israel overnight. Therefore, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam left Egypt overnight along with the Israelites. When Pharaoh came to know about it, he mobilized his army to arrest the Israelites. When the two armies became close to each other, the Israelites shrieked out of the fear of Pharaoh and thought they would now be arrested by Pharaoh. The prevailing situation for the Israelites was very serious because at one side they were confronted by the river with big tidal waves in front of them and the bloodthirsty army of the Pharaoh on the other side. Under this alarming situation, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was relaxed and was consoling the Israelites. When they approached the river, Allah Azza wa Jalla commanded Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to strike the river with his staff. Therefore, the moment he alayhi salam struck the river with his blessed staff, 12 clear roads developed across the river. The Israelites walked over these 12 paths and crossed the river safely. When Pharaoh reached the river and saw the 12 lords, he went onto the roads along with his army. However, when he and his army reached the middle of the river, suddenly the huge waves rose and engulfed the roads. Consequently, Pharaoh drowned into the river along with his army. The Holy Quran mentions the incident in these words. The translation of these words are, and then the two groups came in front of each other. Those with Musa said, they have overtaken us. Said Musa, not so. Indeed, my Lord is with me. He will now show me the way. So we sent revelation to Musa that, strike the river with your staff. Thereupon the river parted. So each part became like a huge mountain. And we brought the others, Pharaoh and his people, close to that place. And we saved Musa and all those with him, then drowned the others. Indeed, in this is surely a sign, and most of them were not Muslims. These are the three wonderful miracles that occurred through the blessed staff of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam that have been mentioned in the Holy Quran repeatedly in different contexts to provide moral lessons for the people.